Brighton, Colorado man was sentenced to life in prison on the 15th of April for murdering his friend and burying the body in a makeshift tomb in his unfinished basement. The incident occurred on the 8th of November 2019 when an argument erupted between 39-year-old Russell Montoya Jr. and 38-year-old Shane Nelson. They'd been friends for 25 years. During the altercation, Russell grabbed a gun and shot Shane in the head, stomach and torso. Shane then collapsed on Russell's kitchen floor and eventually died. Russell then began the process of building a concrete tomb underneath his basement stairwell to hide his body. Russell purchased construction materials at a local hardware in the following days after the shooting. He first wrapped the body in a blanket and then built a small wood frame in the crawl space beneath the laundry staircase. He then fully encased Nelson's body in the concrete and added epoxy in the mix in an attempt to mask the smell, but he failed miserably. Russell's daughter returned to their home in the 7,800 block of York Street the following morning, and as she walked down the stairs into the basement, she was met with an overpowering, horrible and indescribable odour. A few days later, she noticed Shane's disappearance had been posted on social media, and she also noticed freshly poured concrete in the basement laundry room, as well as bloodstains on the basement stairs. She confronted her father about her suspicions, and he confessed to killing him. When his daughter questioned him about the police, Russell promised to keep Shane company and never leave the house, even if that resulted in a shootout with the police. She contacted the police anyway, and a SWAT team executed a search warrant 6 days after the shooting. They recovered Shane's corpse and Russell was arrested. While being questioned by the investigators, Russell explained the events leading up to the shooting. He told them that he was making homemade gun holsters in his kitchen with Nelson, he was drinking vodka, and he was making rude and disrespectful comments about his daughter. Russell alleged that Shane ultimately lunged at him as the fight escalated and tried grabbing a holstered handgun from inside Russell's waistband. Russell said he drew the gun in self-defense, firing 4 shots in the course of 12 seconds, striking Shane in the head, stomach and torso. He later left the house, bought some cigarettes, and drove around for hours, while Shane was left moaning and writhing on the floor. As he returned home, Shane was dead. He then disposed of Shane's bloody cell phone, backpack and car keys, and then dumped his friend's car at an apartment complex down the street. Russell was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. 9 children, all under the age of 18, were shot and injured after a few broke out at a 12-year-old's birthday party. The incident occurred around 8:40 p.m. on Saturday night on the 17th of April, when a group of around 60 young people attended a function in the garage of a home located in the 600 block of South Gulfview Drive in La Place in Louisiana. 2 groups of boys that had an ongoing feud with each other met there, and a verbal confrontation between them erupted into gunfire, and at least 2 guns were used in the shooting. All the victims shot went to hospital and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. 2 victims suffered more serious injuries than the others and remained hospitalised early this week and are in a stable condition. One of the victims was a 14-year-old boy who was shot in the head, and the other was a 16-year-old boy who was shot in the stomach. Witnesses to the shooting have remained tight-lipped and have refused to provide formal statements, which has frustrated the authorities. So far, no one has been arrested as the investigation into the matter continues.